What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I've watched some international prospect stuff. So I thought it would be a good time to run a quick stream. I've been meaning to do more of these during the day um, because I like them and they seem to grow my channel. So we're gonna keep doing them. So hope everyone's having a nice Wednesday afternoon. Depending on depending on your time zone, of course. But yeah, this gonna do this Ben Sira this Ulm game against Rostock. Um some Danish or German no, dot D is Deutschland, not Denmark. I should know that. Back at my GeoGuessr ass needs to know that. But yeah, we're gonna watch some tape on these guys. Um and let's talk some hoops. I was gonna do the how's it going, Firefish? I was gonna do the McDonald's All American game, but I was too impatient and wanted to watch it last night. If the scrimmages are if the full scrim actually, ooh, would we rather do this or the scrimmage? I think I might actually pivot and do the McDonald's All American scrimmage. Yeah, I am gonna pivot and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the scrimmage. Yeah, yeah, I feel like that'll be more popular, and I also wanna watch it more. I watched the McDonald's All-American game, like I said, last night, um, and it was a pretty fun game. It was very competitive, good amount of defense being played, um, and the scrimmages are usually, like, more competitive than the actual game. I'm curious to see who looks good. Because this quality is not the best. Is that Wilson? I think that might be Wilson. No, or Wilson is the headband. Oh, that's the band side, I think, actually. Got a boozer right here. Yeah, it was a fun game. Yeah, Sengue definitely one of the most polarizing prospects that I can remember. I'm obviously not high on Sengue, but a lot of people who I respect are extremely high on him. So gonna be really interesting just to see how he ends up playing. Cam Boozer is a very good free throw shooter and has been forever. He shot 82% at the line this year on high volume, and has his 3-point volume has increased. I strongly disagree. I think he's going to be a great shooter. Yesufu, great defender, but he's a 5 on offense to me, which is kind of disqualifying at the moment for like being a legit NBA prospect. I think he's gonna be a great college player, and I'm open to him. Is that Darren swiping? Of course, Darren playing defense as always. I'm open to Yesufu developing into like a legit NBA guy, but I'm certainly not there yet with him. Like I said, I think he's a 5 on offense, and he's 6'5", which is obviously not something that is gonna fly in the NBA. But let's see, AJ. Was that Wilson? That's Wilson. Yeah.
No one has a better resume in high school basketball than Cameron Boozer with the ball right now. Boozer, 4-time state champion, 3-time basketball.
Is that that's Cenac.
Boozer, 4-time state champion, 3-time.
Always have to orient myself at the beginning of these two. Orient myself to who's actually on the floor during these All-Star games where you have to watch everyone. But ooh, great pass by Mikkel. I think that's McKell. Is that McKell or is that Burries? I see the number. I think it's McKell. McKell was incredible in the actual game. His passing was unbelievable. I put together some clips of good cut by Cenac here. I put together some clips of that's not Cenac, cut by Darren. I put together some clips of McKell's passing on Twitter today. He is just high level. Really high level. You know what physical indicators need to give slashing upside? Siakam was a very good slasher as a prospect. So he was I don't think he's a good example of that. He was very good at that in college. Just like strength, burst, are the main ones I think of. Stride length, I think, is really important, and just like coordination and movement skill as well come to mind as the ones that I value. But another good pass here by Mikkel. I'm very excited to watch Mikkel and Adrian Woolley at Louisville next year. Those two are going to be absolutely awesome. Very excited for those. A cuff for three. Got it there.
Earlier in the year when he went to the Night Riders and left, of course,
DeBansa and Boozer were both like average in the scrimmage or in the actual game by their standards. Like neither of them were particularly exceptional. Both had some good moments, but Peterson was easily the best player on the floor during the good shot Cam. Peterson was easily the best player on the floor during the actual scrimmage, which is not particularly surprising. But Peterson with the ball here against Boozer, pull up. Ament and Boozer look kind of similar, just like from the blurry camera. Was that Eric Reeby, I think? DeBansa could have hit. Possibly could have hit Wilson here. Yeah, I mean, that's a pass like I like to see him make, but it's also not like an easy read either. How's it going at the Buzzer Sports? The main public source to get NCAA clips would be the my guy Cash Iggy has a really good YouTube channel where he posts cut-ups. That's probably the best resource. But most of my clips I get from sources that aren't public, unfortunately. Sangway's family is growth. Yeah, I mean, I can't I'm just not gonna comment on any of like the growth plate, like biology stuff. Like if he does grow, that's great, and I'll adapt my thinking of him based on that, but I'm not going to like factor it into my projection. I'm not a doctor. I don't feel comfortable projecting guys to like get taller. But if it is true, it's obviously really nice, but I'm just not going to expect it. I think Cam Boozer relies too much on strength at the moment, maybe, but I don't really see it as a huge long-term concern just because like in the past, before Cam Boozer was what a pass by Mikkel. What a beast, man. What a sick pass. Before Cam was like a really strong guy, I think he was better at relying on his handle and like the shooting. So kind of at the moment, but I trust Cam to adapt and develop based on the way he's consistently adapted and developed throughout his entire high school career. But I think even at his peak, he's just going to be a dominant strength creator. Like I'd expect him to be a guy who can efficiently score as a strength creator in the league. They misspelled Paul Biancardi needs to learn how to spell Paolo's name. Like Paolo Banchero, he's not an Italian from Long Island. Like someone said, most upside, in my opinion, for the Heights. I mean, obviously the outside of the obvious top three, like Peterson, Boozer, DeBansa, probably Nate Aments, I think. Number 10, I think he just sat down actually, but we'll point him out as he comes up. Let's go, my guy Kamania for three. Looks like a little miscommunication here. Malachi, I'd probably say this is on Harrelson more than Moreno if I had to pick one, but I don't know exactly what the coaches are telling him to do in terms of off-ball switching. I know Paolo's actually Italian, but I was just making a bad joke. Kamania is going to Duke. Yes, I'm very excited to see him next year. I think he's great. Don't think he's like a one and done lock NBA guy, but I do think Kamania is going to be a very good college player, and I wouldn't rule out an NBA future for him. I just don't think I expect it. But certainly possible. He's very talented, big, smart, good shooter. Yeah, this class is really stupid. Like it's really insane how good the top of this class is. Where yeah, I think all three of the top guys are in Cooper's tier, or like I'd probably take Cooper over all three of them just because we have proof of concept of him being an all-time special dominant college player. But I think the three guys could attain similar results in college. So like, good putback by Yesufu. I wish I could like Yesufu more as a prospect because I really enjoy his game and I really like watching him play, but I just don't see the offensive projection at all for him at the moment. But his defense is so ridiculous, and like at the high school level, definitely interested to see him like playing as a wing in these scrimmages. I didn't think he was particularly impressive on offense in the actual game. Interested to see how he does as a wing player here because like at the AAU level he plays at 5, like a power wing pretty much. Opinions on Chris Sinak, pretty low relative to consensus. I still think of him as like I put together a board last night and this morning, and I have him as like a mid-late first round guy. Just like a bundle of tools that has a very wide. Is that Tunde? Tunde with his steal. He's such a beast, man. His instincts are crazy. Like these lazy transition passes, I think he had 5 steals in the McDonald's game. But yeah, Sinak is like that. Like I said, interesting bundle of tools, very big and fluid, and has some ball skills, but just like hasn't really been productive and efficient in his career. The feel and decision making to me are really concerning. So at the moment, I'm not super in on him, but I'm never. Malachi Moreno getting cooked up the dribble there, unfortunately, and Malik missing the open shot. I'm never gonna be totally out on any high school prospect, pretty much, just because I think high school tape is so volatile and like. If a guy is good in college, but I didn't like them in high school, I'm not going to not like them in college. Like Carter Bryant, for example. Like I thought he was pretty underwhelming from an NBA perspective in high school, but I'm a big fan of him now based on his Arizona tape. I think Jace has the build to be a Lowry Van Vliet level defender. Probably not because he's just not as strong, and I don't think his center of gravity is as low. I think of Jace as more of like an off-ball defensive guy than like a point of attack stopper. Like Jace has some really impressive like rotations for blocks, and I think he has good instincts for like when to help. But I really don't like his on-ball defense and his screen navigation at the moment. But I think he could be a solid defender. I'm not crazy high on his defensive projection, but I think it could be solid. Thoughts on Bundalo? Interesting long-term talent. I don't have like a crazy strong opinion on him. Like I don't think he's a one and done necessarily, but like really tough and physical, pretty explosive driver, has a little shooting to him. Like want to see all the parts of his game come together in terms of like consistent on-court impact on offense and just more like consistent energy, awareness and stuff on defense. Oh, good shot there. Yes, there we go. But yeah, he's pretty. Yeah, Jace is pretty skinny. Obviously can add muscle, but I think even at the same stage, like Lowry, FVV guys, and A-Cuff, I just worry a lot about small guards who aren't high level advantage creators or decision makers. I think he's fine. I think he'll probably be a good college player. I just don't see like I think for like comparison to a small guard like Mikael Brown. I mean, I think Brown is a little bigger than A-Cuff, but he has much more like off dribble passing juice and the shooting I trust more. I think he can separate a bit more, but A-Cuff, I don't trust his ability to get easy shots for himself on the ball, which is like my number one thing for small guards. Like if you can't do that, then I'm very rarely going to be in on you as like a first round pick, as like a sub 6'2", 6'3" guard, unless you're like exceptional on defense. But again, as I say with all these guys, open to changing my mind if they improve on stuff in college. Harwell. I like Zay Harwell. He played really well in the actual game. Favorite international prospect in this class? I don't know. The only internationals for this class that I have takes on are Dash seems pretty good. Like I think his offense is a little better than Dyson at the same age from what I remember. Great pass by Peterson. I think his slashing and passing are pretty enticing. I like Kareem Lopez, just like tall, fluid wing with a nice projectable shot and some secondary driving potential. But again, not someone I have like a crazy strong opinion on yet. I don't have strong takes on the international class for next year outside of just knowing that it's supposedly not very strong. And like, at least I haven't seen anyone in that class. So I'm just like, you know, so enamored with Dyson brother better prospect than him at the same stage. I would say so at like their 16-year-old season, but obviously so much happens between that and when they eventually get drafted. So it's too early to definitively say. Beautiful shot by Immense. Immense is such a talented shot maker, man. So good. Love that guy. Sinak. I like seeing Sinak being aggressive as a shooter. Sinak, or I think Sinak. I like seeing Sinak being aggressive as a shooter. Like, I don't think he's a good shooter at the moment, but in order to develop into one, I definitely want to see him being more aggressive, pulling off the catch and working on his footwork and his balance and stuff. But let's see, we got Boozer versus AJ. This is the stuff we want. I mean, we got lots of Boozer versus AJ matchups. We've been fortunate for so many great matchups and not able to create anything there. Great defense by good D by Sinak. I definitely like Sinak much more as a defensive prospect than an offensive prospect. One Dash, the better slasher. Yeah, maybe some nominative determinism there. A cuff. I just complimented Sinak, and then I don't really know exactly what his play. I guess AJ is probably Wilson's probably more at fault, honestly, there for not stepping up. Wilson, another guy who I think there's so many just like not an archetype that I really value, like these defense first toolsy wings who don't do much on offense, like Caleb Wilson, Koa Pete, Chris Sinak, even though he's more of a big than a wing. Yesufu, like there's so many of these guys in this class. It's kind of tough for me just because I just think it's hard to like really develop bankable NBA offensive skills. But I think good. Not an accurate pass, but I like I love the read here. I like the attempt, even if that pass doesn't get through. Koa, yeah, Koa not playing in these is unfortunate. I think he's injured, right? But definitely would love to see Koa in this setting because he's one that I'm pretty unsure about at the moment as well. I mean, I'm honestly unsure about most of these guys. This is like the least confident I felt evaluating a high school class outside of the top guys, obviously, in quite some time. Yeah, Pete, I think at this point, just like again, it's like I think he's talented, very good defensive player, big, good finisher, but like what does he do on offense in the NBA, right? Like he's not really a shooter, not a plus decision maker, doesn't create easy looks. I just like don't know. I mean, he certainly could develop something, like I don't doubt that at all. But I struggle to see exactly what. Good drive by Reeby. Looks really fluid here. Yeah, I struggle to see it. Yeah, Harwell was awesome yesterday. I'm a big fan of Harwell's. Have been for quite a while. Shame that he's dealt with as many injury stuff as he has in his career. Like pretty much missed his whole like last AAU season, I think, with injury stuff. And it missed some of his junior season with injury stuff as well. But really good player. It's like also lol Peterson. Darren is so good at defense. Yeah, Hartwell just like a really good shooter. Really, I think he's gotten much stronger over the last couple years. Like he was so much slighter and less physical a couple years ago, and just like smooth and skilled. Like I like Hartwell a lot. I could see him being a one and done for sure. Good pass by AJ. I don't think AJ is the best passer on the move, but like from a standstill, I think he's pretty good at reading a defense. Trey McKinney thoughts? Interesting. Again, there's like not an archetype I love, just like the tough shot maker wing on offense who doesn't do much else, but his defense is pretty good. I was impressed with McKinney's defense in the McDonald's All-American game. I think he's usually a pretty solid defender. And he's obviously a very successful and productive high school player, so I won't like count him out, but not someone who I view as a one and done at the moment. Good hezzy by Mikkel. Do I know who Jonathan Sanderson is? I am a big Jonathan Sanderson fan. Yes, he's a beast. I really like Jonathan Sanderson. Good closeout attack by Harwell. Just really solid 2 foot. Yeah, I think AJ improved as a passer this year as well. I'd say I agree with that. Still like below the level that I would want from like a number 1 pick type player, but like I get it with him obviously, and he did make big improvements for sure. I think Sanderson could be an NBA guy. Yeah, I mean, he's like a bit of a tweener. I wish he was a little bigger to be like a real wing. I'm not so sure about Sanderson being an NBA guy, but I love his shooting. I love the way he can play off the ball. But not so sure on that yet. I think Quaintance is a better prospect than Onyeka, yes. Get some Darius Adams in the game. And Braylon Mullins. I like Darius Adams, but he didn't do much in the actual game. Caden, Moreno. I love Moreno. Getting triple teamed here. Keeps the ball. Really good play. He's just like I wish Moreno was like a little taller. If Moreno was like 6'11" without shoes, I'd have him as like a top 7 guy in this class. I mean, I still think he's lottery-ish just because he's so skilled and he's really physical and he's athletic and he can shoot and he can dribble and he can pass. And I just value that skill set a lot at center. But another one of these guys, so I'm like, I like him. I think he's good, but I'm far from sold on him as like a one and done, which is how I feel about most of this class, to be honest. Like I don't feel super confident. Quaintance, I don't think Quaintance is a guaranteed 5. I can see worlds where Quaintance plays in the wing because of his handle. His passing, I thought, was quite impressive this year. Like he's got some really high level passing flashes on his tape from this year, and he's just like such a freak athlete that I think there's a chance for him to develop on the wing. And his defense was just phenomenal this year for a 17-year-old. He was great. Malik does dribble a lot for sure. I mean, that's been his role throughout high school, right? Is good shot by Bayev. That's been his role throughout high school to just be an initiator. I wish Malik had a little more on-ball juice. Like he's just not as explosive or bursty as I think he needs to be for his play style. Like he's very talented. I like the way he's like a slithery mover and he's got good touch. You can get the floaters, like really good like footwork, deceleration type athlete, and he can certainly pass as well, but probably just a little bit too limited athletically. But I think he's like a possible one and done. Like oh, Kamania, did you get fouled? He must have got fouled there. Don't tell me my boy airballed that 3. don't tell me my boy airballed that 3. But yeah, I agree. I don't think Malik is like a lock one and done, but I think he's a fun player. Burries. Didn't see much from Burries in the game, so hoping to see some stuff from him in the scrimmage that's not turning the ball over or almost turning the ball over.
Right now are Arkansas and Duke. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, here's the stuff that I really like. I mean, he just has a very nice command of like pace and rhythm, and not the best defense from Moreno here, but like good stop start. He's not a super bursty or explosive athlete, but he is a very good he is a very good stop start athlete, which I think is notable for sure. It's not nothing, even though he is, I think, well below the level of primary athlete you want. Who is in that ball? Abayev, just good steal by Kamania. Dunk it. I love Kamania. He's awesome. Good pass by Darius Adams. Adams, another one of the many players in this class who I wish I could be higher on than I am. All right, back to the second half of this scrim. I give Sinak extra points because of the multicolored shoes. I love players who wear multicolored shoes. They're so easy to identify on the floor. Always appreciate the creative shoe choices, and good shot right there. I think Sinak's looked better in this scrimmage than he did in the actual game so far, at least. Look at Peterson's closing speed here. Wow, he's just like he's different. Boozer, yeesh. Boozer certainly has a way to go as a shooter off the dribble, but I think Carter has slashing upside. I think it's possible, like not like primary slashing upside, but he's like very explosive. He's pretty quick. I don't think he has the flexibility or the handle to be like an on-ball driver, but I think it's possible. I mean, I wouldn't totally rule it out, especially if he's going to be a legit shooter like he was this year. His shooting numbers and shooting tape to me were quite good this year. Like, yeah, a lot of open like corner threes, but very confident and decisive for a freshman. Doesn't really hesitate. I think he makes good decisions as a shooter. Carter, that is. And I mean, he's certainly a better shooting bet than Noah, and I'd probably take him as a shooter over Fleming too. And I think that obviously extends to, right. That's obviously going to boost his driving game, right? I mean, those two things are very correlated, of course. So many terrible misses in this game. So many air balls or like near air balls from good shooters in this game. I'm like, what is up with the depth perception in this gym right now? A cuff on the ball here. Nice little decel right there. Hop step. Mikkel not playing much defense. Yeah, this scrimmage is significantly lower effort than the good shot by DP than the actual game, which I feel like isn't always the case, but not so much defense being played in this one. Good finish by Acuff. There we go. And some more very poor defensive effort. I think like pretty much all of the good guards in this class, like outside of Peterson, are one-way players, are one-way projections for me at the moment, which isn't great. Like Mikkel, Acuff, if you want to view him like pretty much a one-way guy. Dash is kind of a defense projection. Kingston Flemings, honestly, is one is a big snub for this game, in my opinion. Kind of a two-way projection. And like it's Caden is also a two-way projection, but I don't like his creation as much as the other guys. But see if Peterson's going to keep cooking here. So smooth. So freaking smooth. I love Darren. Harwell's actually, I mean, Harwell is a two-way guy, but he's also more of a wing to me. Like he's big enough to play on the wing at times. Wilson. Don't love that shot at all. Boozer. Closer. Yeah, this is some questionable basketball right here. Nice look by Acuff. Against the set defense, just cracking the floor open. Boozer for 3. There we go. Yeah, this is some low-level basketball right here. Extremely low-level basketball. Hey, CT, what's up, buddy? CT, if you want to hop on and talk, you're welcome to. Where do I have Clayton? I have Clayton lower than I'm going to have him once guys pull out. I think I have him like around like 35, 40. I do think he'll stick in the league. Yeah, for sure. I think Clayton's too good of a shot maker, and I trust his physical tools enough to where I think he sticks as a rotation guy. Like, I don't think of him as a star or anything, but I do like Clayton for sure. Any queries you feel are more important for playoff success? Not really. I'm not a big query guy, honestly. I'm not the right person to ask. Jump ball. Yeah, I mean, I think like Darren's vertical pop in traffic is like good, not elite. Like it's certainly very good. He's a very good jumper in traffic. He's just not like the Bansa in terms of jumping in traffic. But yeah, I mean, Darren is the level of prospect where pretty much all of the weaknesses you can have on him are nitpicks, which is obviously a good thing. Right? That it's just like, yeah, he has the best touch ever and probably could afford to rely on it a little less, but like he's probably gonna be fine relying on it in the league because it's so good and he has like the best handle and he's so smooth and quick and yeah. Caden. Ooh, real good drive by Caden. I mean, Malik isn't a great on-ball defender, but good job using his strength, keeping a straight line here, finishing through contact with his left. Good stuff, Caden. Good stuff. Malik. A lot of bricks in this game. Harrelson. Good shot. I'm not a Harrelson guy. That's a good shot. Let's go Kamania. Kamania's had the issue genuinely forever. One of Kamania's main issues to me is that he always misses his jumper short. Like I don't know if it's like a kinetic chain thing where it's kind of like a 2-motion shot, or I don't know if he needs to bring the ball down so far. Like, yeah, I mean, I wish he'd just keep it up here where he catches it. Because a lot of his shots are short. Good dunk by Moreno. Extremely silent Elijah Arenas scrimmage. I thought Elijah was also concerning in the actual game. Like he had some buckets where it's like, okay, you obviously see his talent, but in a game where I thought like everyone's like the collective effort level was very high in the actual game, I feel like Elijah's was very low. The Finnish guy, Mika Murnin, I believe he's old enough to reclass to this class if he wants to, but I don't think that's happened yet. So he could be in this class, I think, but maybe. But I think as for now, he's still 2026. But yeah, I do think he's old enough to reclass if he needs to, or if he so chooses. Can we quit it with the split screen interviews, man? Like, please. I don't want to be watching this game on tiny screen. Who do you think is the best wing defender in the class? Aside from Cooper, I think it's Penda for sure. Penda's awesome. Neek, I think, is going to be great. Jameer Watkins, I think, is going to be great wing defender. Is Gilbert making him play enough defense for your liking? Ew. I am concerned about Elijah long term. I really think his people have not done him have done him poorly in terms of like development. Like he's obviously so talented, but like I said, like clearly hasn't developed like the defensive capabilities, the playmaking instincts that like you kind of need, even if you're an on-ball creator in the NBA, which I think Arenas is like talented enough to develop into a legit creator in the league. But yeah, I mean, like he's obviously so talented that good tip by Marino. He's killing it on the interior today. But yeah, I am worried about Elijah. I am curious to watch it. I mean, I don't trust USC really to get the most out of him either. Like, I don't like that as a landing spot really. Great pass by Malik. Love Malik's live dribble passing. But yeah, I am concerned. I'm sufficiently concerned, but like I still think Elijah is a good prospect, and I'll still have him high preseason on my boards just because he is so talented, creating advantages and scoring off the dribble. But like, can see a lot of ways that it just totally doesn't work. But I think there's also a chance that he's just too talented to fully flame out and ends up being okay. But I do hope he can improve in a lot of his very significant weaknesses. Yeah, Nick is a great rebounder. I mean, just like very long, bouncy, good effort. All right, we got the big one. Let's see if we get more effort in this fourth quarter than we got in the first three. Beautiful pass by Braylon Mullins. Braylon Mullins hasn't done much of anything in the scrimmage or the game, but I'm a big Braylon Mullins fan. Going to UConn next year. Let's see Cam in the pick and roll. Good pass. Look at Braylon. Braylon is such a good passer off the ball, and Elijah gambling. No, it's not Elijah. Wait, is that Elijah, or is that it's just like not happening in real time? That's Peterson, I think. No, it's Peterson. Yeah, duh. Good pass by Cam. Mullins is just like a really awesome shooter, and I think he processes the floor really well. Yeah, the Elijah high school comp is pretty rough. Like his obviously, I mean, he played, like on the Adidas circuit with Compton Magic against very much more real competition that I do think he was good in a lot of ways and that he's great at, and he also struggled in a lot of ways. But yeah, the Chatsworth tape, like I watched him live a couple times earlier in the year, and it's just like a hard sample to extrapolate from. Like he never has to pass the ball. He doesn't really do much on defense. That team needs him to create and to score. So like I get why he plays the way he plays at this level. It's like he plays the way he needs to for his team to be successful. But again, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. Not the greatest Cam Boozer showing today. Good D by Caleb Wilson. I wish Caleb Wilson was a better offensive player, man. Oh, look at Caleb. Who fouled? Really? Is that really a foul? I mean, maybe you just can't see it. Maybe foul like that's. I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, Caleb is such an awesome defensive player, man. I really hope he develops some kind of reliable offensive skill because he's so fun to watch on defense. He was special this summer for Night Riders on defense. He was destroying. Pretty sure he was like the clear stocks leader in EYBL, like so dominant on defense. Easy drive by Darren. Let's go Booze. Good kick out. They really are like doubling the hell out of Boozer every time he touches the ball. So it is kind of tough for him to get going in this game. But is this a Sinak, I think? Yeah. Good pump fake by Boozer. Carlos. Kamania. Back to Yesafuk. Close out attack. Okay, it's some good stuff by Yesafuk. Good close attack. I mean, Caden shouldn't have jumped there, but nice little floater right there. Good touch. Can Khan develop a bully post game? I think so. I think that's going to be part of his. I also don't buy Khan being 6'7" at all. I guess he's 6'5" without shoes. But I don't factor that into his evaluation necessarily. When we see the combine, it's not going to change my mind because I already know how big he looks on tape. But I think Khan's already got a little bit of a bully game. Like he's already really good at playing off 2 feet, using his butt to create separation. Really patient, pump fake guy. So I think so. Yeah, I can certainly see him developing a post game, like a more reliable, consistent post game in the league. Absolutely. Definitely. I definitely see that. All right. Burries. Slips. All right, Elijah, let's see it. I don't think Elijah scored in this one. Or maybe he scored once. I don't remember. Oh, Moreno. He's going to finish that. Ridiculously good finisher. Kamania. There we go, Kamania. There we go. They got Kamania playing the 5 right here. Interesting. Harrelson getting to the rim. Boozer comparison, I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's very unique. And I don't have a good one, to be honest. I do think there are some Paolo shades, even if it's going to look very different, and they have a lot of differences. But there we go, Nick. Oh, catch the ball! Catch the ball! Oh, my goodness. That handle, no look. It's a little high, a little heat, but it hit him in the hands. I need you to catch that. But no, I love Kamania. He's been impressive in this one. Definitely better in the scrimmage than he was in the actual game. Just a rough decision there by McKinney. Burries with the dunk. Let's see if this West team can make a little comeback here. Oh, there we go. Look at that Burries. Wow. What a steal. Great length. Ooh, okay. Okay, we got a game here. We got a game. There we go. Nepotism Kevin Love is crazy. I mean, if he turns into Kevin Love, that's a great outcome, obviously. But did he poke that out? Oh, I caught that. Why am I getting these ads? All right, let's see if we can get a game winner here. Damn, no Darren Peterson, no DeBansa in the game for the end of the game, and we get a game-saving block from my guy Malachi Moreno. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it looks like Harrelson definitely contributed. I can't tell exactly who got the block there. I think it's Moreno, but whew. Yeah, scrimmage was definitely less exciting than the actual game. But anyways, thanks y'all for popping out. Anyone has any last questions, comments, thoughts? Feel free to drop those now. But otherwise, I will see y'all next time. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna stream is, but I'm sure I will. We'll stream. But anyways, have a nice day, y'all.